everyone. Let's do one more problem where we apply the chain rule to something a little bit different than just taking a derivative. It's kind of what this is, but we've got our information represented with some function notation and in a table. So I've given you information about values of function f, so y values and slopes, and the same thing for g, y values and slopes at these three x values, 2, 3, and 4. And I want to see, so it's kind of like some graph problems we've done, if you could figure out h of 4 and h prime of 4, given this definition that h of x is the composition of f and g, so it's f and g, f of g of x. So I don't ask you for just the function very often, but just to get us started, if I want h of 4, it's going to be f of g of 4. And remember, the way composition works is first you plug the 4 into g, and we get a 2. And then you take the 2 and you plug it back into f, and we get a 1. So there's just the value. So function h has a y value of 1 when the x value is 4. And then the other thing we need to do is say, okay, well, h prime of x is going to be f prime of g of x multiplied by g prime of x. It's just our chain rule. And if we want to evaluate that at x equals 4, we're going to get f prime of g of 4, which is that 2 that we used earlier, multiplied by g prime of 4. G prime of 4 is 6. And then we'll have one last step because we need to find f prime of 2, which is 5. So we get 5 times 6, which is 30. A lot of people actually get in trouble in that one. That one is, in some ways, maybe easy because it's just straight up the chain rule, but people misread this. They think this is f prime times g of x, and it is not. So first you find g of x, and then you plug that into f prime. The 2 does not get multiplied by anything else. Okay, next one, we're supposed to find j prime of 2 if j is equal to f of x squared. So I would say, first I need to figure out the derivative. Okay, so this is function squared, which means its derivative should be 2 times the function raised to the first power. And then the chain rule says once you've taken the derivative of the second power function, you would need to multiply by the derivative of the inner function, which is an f prime. Which means that j prime of 2 is going to be 2 times f of 2, which is 1, times f prime of 2, which is 5. So j of 2 is 10. Okay, and then k prime of 3, if k is equal to f of x times pi to the g of x. So big thing happening there is actually a multiplication. So when I go to find k prime of x, I'm going to have a product rule. So I'll take the second, pi to the g of x, and I'll multiply it by the derivative of the first, which is an f prime. And then I have plus the first, f of x, times the derivative of the second. And this is where we actually get a little chain rule showing up. Pi to the stuff, the derivative of that would be pi to the stuff multiplied by the natural log of pi. And then chain rule says don't forget to multiply by the derivative of the inner function, which is a g prime. So that's a big long mess. And if we want to evaluate that at 3, we're going to get pi to the g of 3. Okay, so 3 is the middle. G of 3 is negative 4. Pi to the negative 4 times f prime of 3, which is 0. Okay, well that's convenient. So that first part goes away. And then f of 3 is 2. Pi to the g of 3, that was negative 4, so this is a pi to the negative 4. And then the natural log of pi is just what it is. And then last thing, we need to multiply by g prime of 3. Okay, so g prime of 3 is 1/2, which it looks like the 2's will cancel. So we're going to get a natural log of pi divided by pi to the 4, just dealing with that negative exponent, and avoid the temptation to cancel, oh sorry, wobbles, cancel the pi, it's inside the log, so you can't. Okay, one more, I have to move this up so you can't see the table. Find m prime of 2 if m of x is equal to e to the x squared divided by f of x. So the derivative of this function is going to require a quotient rule. We'll want the bottom, f of x, times the derivative of the top, and here's where our chain rule shows up. E to the stuff is its own derivative, and then the chain rule says multiply by the derivative of the stuff, which is going to be a 2x. So this was just the beginning of our quotient rule. Bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom over the bottom squared. Okay, so there's my derivative formula, and what I want is m prime of 2. So we need an f of 2. Okay, so hold on, I will write these down. And we need an f of 2, and we need an f prime of 2. And that's about it. Okay, so looking back up here, f of 2 is 1, f prime of 2 is 5. So when I'm walking through all this mess, f of 2 is 1, so this is 1 times e, remember x is what's being replaced by 2, so this is e to the 4, and then multiplied by 2 times 2, which is 4, minus e to the 4 times f prime of 2, which is 5, all over f of 2 squared. 1 squared is just 1. Okay, so I see a 4e to the 4 minus a 5e to the 4, which is a negative e to the 4. All right, thanks for watching.